probably when we have our own conversation, or we can talk about it today. It don't matter, but it's about the divisiveness. And because to me, I feel like no matter who the president is, if they're divisive, if they have people kind of against each other, if they're not trying to constantly find ways to bring people together, to me, you ain't for this country, because this country got too many types of people. We don't need that. And what I mean, what I'm hearing right now is like they're so divisive that depending on how the coin flip, history can be a good thing or history is a bad thing. When we were talking earlier about Robert E. Lee, you were like, hey man, this is some people's history. Some people got good feelings about this. Da, 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 da. You brought the history up. But then when he brought up history, it's like, why we got to go to history? And
I
it
never
seems
said,
like
but I never said why we got to go to history. I'm saying why are we using their
but
plight to
you did.
justify? And let me explain.
And
Like
why
I
do you
said,
keep bringing up history?
context matters. It doesn't matter that history is being brought up. It's about what you do with it. I know my ancestors were slaves. That's not my argument. What you gonna do with it? I'm never gonna sit back and wait for somebody to come touch me in South Central and do what they supposed to do what they supposed to do for me as they did for my ancestors.
Nobody's saying that.
If they didn't do it for my ancestors, they not gonna do it for me, and I'm not waiting for it.
We
It's
agree
that
with that.
simple. I'm not waiting for it. I'm
We
just not
agree
gonna
with
wait.
that. We agree with that. But here, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The same way that you're basically saying, in so many words, you're like, I'm not fighting for what my ancestors did. I'm doing me, right?
No, I'm fighting for them every day by doing me, because they went through what they went through for me to have the freedom that I have today. So therefore I'm using it and I'm not abusing it. Which means that if they were here today, they probably would have appreciated what we got today and say, why y'all niggas complaining? Because we didn't have none of this. I'm
No,
not,
no,
because
no.
they wasn't waiting. They
That,
waited
that's
to be free. They waited to be free and they got free. Now look, we are the descendants of that. And look what we doing out in the streets, and look what we doing to our babies.
that you know that argument sounds like if you were saying, well, then the slaves in the the slaves that died on the slave ships, they'd be looking at the slaves that made it like, hey, what y'all complaining about? At least y'all made it. And then the slaves that made it, but they were enslaved, but they didn't get past slavery into Jim Crow. They'd be looking at the Jim Crow black people like, what y'all complaining about? Y'all made it to Jim Crow. Like, bro, you don't just get to the next phase and now you shouldn't complain no
We're,
more
we're
because you
at
better than the last group.
we're at the phase. We're what they fought for. Ain't nobody checking for us and making us stay in the house but ourselves. Who else doing
But
it?
wait,
Who's
no,
trying to
but
stop
wait,
it?
time out. Wait, time out. Wait, so so you believe that it's okay just for us to have the bare minimum of this country just because we not in chains anymore?
The bare minimum to me is to compete. I just want to show you that I'm better
That's
than
what
you.
I'm saying. You're right.
No,
But the problem is
that's not
the
the bare
issue.
minimum. That's putting
But
you on
the
the playing field.
no, but the issue is this: you're not on the playing field. You're not on the same playing field, man. They're already 400 yards ahead of you.
They're not, because my thing is
You
this.
you you believe that?
All right. So this is my thing. I'm not looking at it as a collective, because some niggas is against niggas. So I can't speak for all the black folks. Like I said, I could try to get some black people out the hood, but they don't want to. I'm not speaking for them. Let's, like how you said, oh well, yeah, you got some people that don't make it out. Let's not speak for them. Let's speak for the ones that's trying. If you try, you can make it. If
Man.
you try, there's some
All
people
right.
that don't even want to try because they think like you, without the businesses, without all this other stuff. And like you said, we're me, Kashmir, and you, right? We are the people that basically made it out of our communities, and there's a whole bunch of people that's still there. If we go back to the hood, we'll see them. Why are we the only ones that say, you know what? I know my history. I know what we've been through. Why did I get up off my ass and say, you know what? I got to do something different. At least I got to do something different. I got to think different because it ain't helping me.
I understand what you're saying, but guess what? I also understand that we are exceptions to the rule. That what I'm saying is the same way how you would go, right? Why? Okay, for instance, this a prime example, right? The most ambiguous thing that comes with you is what your social security number, correct?
Yeah.
That mean that if you have your social security number, that's the one thing that's the only thing that you have that's going to separate you from, because even you could have the same name as somebody, you can look like somebody, whatever it is, right? So why when you fill out a job application you have race on there?
I'm
What's
still
the
trying to
purpose
figure
of
that out.
that? But
I'm still trying to
exactly,
figure that out.
because you know the reason why, man.
No,
Because
I
guess
don't.
what you guess what you get an opportunity to do with that. Guess what employers get an opportunity to do with that. They get to look at the young white boy who got the same resume, a slightly worse resume to you, and they get to choose him over you because your name is Daquan or your name is South Central conservative.
But
That's
my,
what they
my
get to
question is
do.
this though. My question is this: what about the black people to get? I mean, I'm in a union. What about the black folks with the black name? In order to get on the job site, you got to have a little diversity. What about me winning? What about me winning because I'm my skin? What about that?
What you said? What? Because say that one more
I'm
time.
in, I'm in a union, right? It's good
Right,
to
right.
have you might have a woman
You
on
right,
you might have a woman on you know on your team. You might
right.
have a black.